365 Sports.
We have said it all season. Indiana does not make the same mistake twice in back-to-back games. What does that mean? Heading into the 15th game of the season. What did we see?
We saw them. I think there were a lot of times in the first Oregon game that they could have put the game away even more than they did and just didn't. So they just continued to push down on the gas pedal and never let up. And that's what you got to do to beat these teams by as many as they are beating them by.
One of the Cignetti isms, never satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
The time to be satisfied is after the game, not during. That's why you saw Mendoza never come out. And even to the point where he took the knee. It was so great to watch. Woo! Got it done. I'm Kevin.
Yep.
That's my son Liam. We are the Unstable Blues. Happy to present 365 Indiana Sports as part of the 365 Sports Network.
Yes, welcome back. This episode, we will go over the absolute demolishing win of the Hoosiers in the rematch with the Ducks, even though there's still things to get Cignetti fired up in the film room about. Even so, how was this little Indiana team from the inferior Big Ten able to continue to get better and be such a force this late in the season against top-level competition? Let's go all in.
Yes, you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at 365 Sports Indiana, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, so let's first talk about the crowd that was there. The crowd that I have a picture of it here. I'll load it in. That on the Pat McAfee broadcast, they said it was about 90-10.
It was very sliver of green. I saw it pan to the one green and then it panned to the rest of the crowd, and I just saw red and white everywhere. So, yeah, Pat called it Indy Atlanta. So I thought that was very funny.
Yep, absolutely. And so it was basically, now it's been Bloomington West when it was in Pasadena. Now it was Bloomington South. Now it has to be Bloomington South Beach. But that's going to be tough because they play at Miami and they play Miami. But we'll get to that next week. First, let's go over the narrative of this game.
All right, let's do it. First up was the first play of the game.
First play of the game.
D'Angelo Pons picked off Dante Moore and ran it all the way back to the end zone. The crowd erupted everywhere. I erupted from my seat. I was like, oh, it's going to be one of these games. And Isaiah, don't know if you're watching this or not, but you texted me and he was like, okay, it's going to be one of those games.
What a moment in the biggest start of that game. Oregon then responded, though, with an impressive 14-play drive of their own for a touchdown.
Yep, great rebound from them. Speaking of which, open goal, rebounder, goal, and goal setup help you, if you miss a shot, comes right back, and you can continue playing. Indiana bounced right back with an 11-play drive, highlighted by a 23-yard Elijah Surratt grab, and capped off by an Omar Cooper outside shoulder touchdown catch from Fernando Mendoza, which was a great throw, but not even the best throw of the night, in my opinion.
I know. The teams then exchanged punts before a Moore fumble at the 3-yard line resulted in 3 straight Kalon Black runs to punch it into the paint.
Yes, Oregon punted again, and the Hoosiers took 4 plays that included an 18-yard pass interference Surratt catch. Anyway, and he caught it anyway. 36-yard scoring bomb to Charlie B from Nashville, Tennessee.
I love it. 2 plays later for Oregon, a strip sack by Daniel Ndukwe, and Surratt had his first catch for pay dirt.
Yep. The third play of that drive involved a wheel route completion to Pons. Yes, D'Angelo Pons, the guy who already had a touchdown, to try to make him the first player in history with a defensive and offensive touchdown in a single college football playoff game.
Right.
Which is
So
crazy
I
considering
know.
Travis Hunter
I
played
know.
both positions.
But he didn't play in a CFP game.
Really?
Nope.
Interesting.
Well, Oregon then ended the half moving the ball well, but came up short on a long field goal to bring the halftime score 35 to 7.
Yes, IU started the second half with the ball and again marched down the field with a mix of run and pass and a beautifully lofted ball to a wide open EJ Williams to get in on the scoring.
Yes, not to go quietly into the night. Oregon had a huge run and scored in 2 plays on the next drive. Joi Baby Sleep Sacks can help your little one go into the night quite well. Click the link in the description for more on that.
A punt from the Hoosiers left the door open, but Oregon had to play catch up and go for every fourth down, and they turned the ball over on downs.
Yes, Indiana was unable to mount anything again and punted, but Oregon was forced to punt deep in their own territory, and the punt was blocked by Ndukwe and resulted in the second Surratt touchdown grab.
Oregon had another turnover on downs as they had to go for it, and Kobe Martin entered into the run game with a pair of big runs, including a 26-yarder before Black closed the deal, scampering 23 yards into the end zone.
Yes, the Ducks put together a closing touchdown drive to lessen the margin, but it was too little, too late, with only 22 seconds left in the game, and Fernando Mendoza came out for the best formation in football to send the Hoosiers to their first national championship game.
Yeah. Before we continue on, the play that I want to highlight that I kind of hinted at.
Oh, we're gonna do a play. Is this not the play?
No, this is not.
Okay.
This is not the play for
All right.
me. It was the best throw of the night in my opinion. It was a out route to just past the sticks to Charlie Becker. He timed it perfectly, right in there, right exactly where it needed to be. Charlie got his feet down, right out of the length, right out of the reach of the defender, and it was great just kind of watching all that unfold. I was like, wow, this is a guy that's making Sunday throws. So,
Yep.
yeah.
That is what it was. All right, let's go into the stat sheet then. Fernando Mendoza, 17 of 20 for 177, 5 touchdowns, 98.5 QBR. That's out of 100. Just it's different than the pros, and he added 28 yards on the ground on 6 really tough runs, some of them. One of which we thought he might have been taken out after that, but no, he came back for more.
Yep. Surprising, only under 200, but the 5 touchdowns kind of make up for that.
Right.
Kalen
And he
Black
threw more touchdowns than incompletions.
Yep, for the 5th time this season. By the way, only player in a college football season to ever do that. Kalen Black went 12 for 63 and had those 2 touchdowns.
Roman Hemby added 53 on 17 carries.
Yep, and Kobe Martin had 4 carries for 43 yards.
Elijah Surratt had 75 yards on 7 catches in those 2 touchdowns.
Charlie B, 2 for 48 and a touchdown.
He came up just a few yards shy of what I said. What did I say? I said 2 catches for at least 60.
Yep, you
so
did.
Close. And a touchdown. I was so close. Aiden Fisher, 9 tackles, 1.5 of those for loss and a pass defensed.
Yes, Isaiah Jones, my guy, 6 tackles, 1.5 for a loss as well.
Daniel Ndukwe had 2 sacks on the day. One of them was a strip sack.
And overall, they had 10 TFLs as a team. It's a great team defense.
Great pressure and
3 turnovers.
We might have said that. Yeah. So what are some of your intangibles then?
I think you got to go. One of them has to be the quarterback play. The experience of Mendoza, because in all honesty, he's more of an experienced quarterback. And can
we also address that before the game, Mel Kiper, the draft guru said that Dante Moore was his number one overall pick over Mendoza. That was laughable after this game.
And the quarterback play was just a massive difference. Fernando looked extremely comfortable the entire time, and Dante looked like he was struggling from the get-go. He threw a pick six at the very beginning and could not get out of his head until honestly, he just didn't get out of his head because he had those two fumbles as well. That play action fumble should not have happened at all. So I think the quarterback play was a massive difference. It was a really well officiated game as well. So was the Bills and Jags game. By the way, we're not talking about this isn't IU football, but the Bills Jags game, I was fairly impressed by the officiating. I think they got all the spots right, all the calls right, good penalties whenever there needed to be. I thought it was a very well officiated game, which turned out to be a pretty enjoyable game to watch. Anyways, back to IU.
Great NFL weekend. We'll get to that on Friday.
Yes. Back to IU. I think another thing is the run game, the run presence of IU. There were some times where they got stopped short, 2 or 3 yards, maybe even a 1 yard loss or something. But they kept going, and they did it with 3 separate backs. I told people, yes, Roman Hemby and Kalen Black are a two-headed monster, maybe the best in the nation, but they have a really great backup in Kobe Martin. So I'm very pleased with how they ran the ball as a guy who talks about running the ball all the time.
Right, and Kobe Martin was the 4th string to begin the season. Their 3rd string guy had ACL early in the season, so he'll be back next season, I would assume.
Yeah, for sure. Those are my intangibles, though.
All right, turnovers. I talk about it all the time. When you win the turnover battle, 3-0, especially when 2 of those happen inside the red zone, and the other is a pick six. You got 21 points off turnovers just like that. And you could even say it was 4 turnovers. I'm sorry. I'm counting the punt, but the block punt doesn't count as a turnover, but it pretty much
essentially. Plus all the turnover on downs and everything like that.
Yeah. And then the constant and consistent pressure. Didn't I say this? That
you did.
This is what needed. This is the key to the game for me. Constant, consistent pressure. It comes when you know the players you're playing with and you do it well as a team, and that is one thing that IU does so well. And then, as you mentioned, never letting up, consistently, and just keeping everybody on the field and going for it all the way. It's tremendous. So that leads us to your never daunted play of the game.
There's a lot in this game. It could be any of the touchdowns. It could be any of the turnovers. But I'm going to give you a wombo combo here. I'm going to say it's both a turnover and a touchdown. D'Angelo Pons, pick six to start the game off. It's early on, but it was so early on that it mattered so much. Like I said earlier, Dante Moore never seemed to get out of his head after that point. He looked flustered the entire game, which led to 2 other turnovers. I think that play set the tone, and that was honestly Cignetti saying, yes, Dan, you're a great coach, but I'm better. Watch what I can do.
Yeah.
Because that was perfectly read. It was part of one of the script plays too. So I was thoroughly impressed by that specific play.
Yeah. You could say the pick six started it off. The blocked punt put it away. But I'm going to give you a little nugget. I said this when it happened. Mendoza had a 21-yard scramble on 3rd and 8 in, I believe it was the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That play, the drive resulted in a punt, but it flipped the field position, and then on that next Oregon possession, that's when they've had the fumble where the running back ran into Dante Moore's arm, fumbled it on the 3, and then Black had the touchdown to make it 21-7. So, to me, you look at little things, right? You could look at these big things, and there were so many big things, but man, that play where he took off on 3rd and 8 and was able to scramble down the sideline, pick up the first down, and flip that field position gave a lot more oomph to the situation, and then, like I said, put Oregon really behind the 8 ball, down 2 scores at that point. So now they're already playing catch up at that point, trying to grasp at anything they can. So that one play, to me, was the moment that kind of defined the transition of the game.
Yeah, so, I like it.
Then who is your
Hoosier
star of the game?
There's so many people you can give it to here because everybody scored. Defense scored. I think everybody did a lot of different things on defense. It was so spread out. And whenever it's so spread out, there's only one reason it's so spread out, and that is Fernando Mendoza. I don't care if you don't go for 200 yards. 5 touchdowns is insane. More touchdowns and completions in a semifinal. College football playoff semifinal is insane. Beating a team down in a semifinal is insane. So I'm going to give it to Fernando Mendoza because he is the Heisman undoubtedly now. I don't think anyone could say otherwise. So I'm going to give it to him. I think he deserves it.
All right. You could give it to Fernando. I'm fine with that. You give it to Surratt. He caught everything. But everyone caught everything that went their way. 3 incompletions, right? Last week, I gave it to, let's see, I'm trying to look. I gave it to Devin Boykins because I mean, we talked about a guy who I've never, even though we follow the team, cover the team, I had not heard of this guy. David Ndukwe, sophomore out of Georgia, which means, and didn't play anywhere else. So he was one of the freshmen out of high school recruited by Cignetti last year. And he had a sack fumble, where it was actually a fumble, and he had the blocked punt.
Yeah.
He had 2 game-changing moments. And so, to me, there you go. I mean, yes, you score points with the offense, but it makes it easier when your defense comes up big. So
for sure, I agree.
That is my player of the game. Any other thoughts before we head off to Miami? I mean, we're not heading off to Miami. Yes, that is right.
That's it.
The Miami kid, Fernando Mendoza, plays against Miami in Miami, a stadium which we have been on the grass for.
We have, yeah.
And so you got to tune in Friday for all of that. Well, that's it. That's all we have for today. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode we are calling Attack with Fire with my wife, Liam's mom, Alexis, as we will be here to discuss the second season of Indy Ignite Professional Volleyball. Later this week, we'll have our Unstable Pick 6 NFL predictions in the divisional round. Candy Stripe clear out, check in with IU basketball, and keep the pace, our weekly look at Pacers basketball that's surprisingly going a little well right now.
Yeah, this is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to say 365 Sports Indiana.
365 Sports.